Alright, hi guys, so my name is Gabby Andruska, or Just Designed, and this is the documentary for the 2024 Art on the Square in Belleville, Illinois. In this video, I speak to a lot of different artists. There's so many artists at this festival, I could not talk to everyone. But for the people that I did talk to, thank you so much for making this video possible. Without you, there wouldn't have been this long format video that everyone can enjoy if they were thinking about joining Art on the Fair or just to visit. So Belleville is known for Art on the Square because it's been here for years, and it's a very famous art show here in the Midwest, and I live in Belleville myself, so I was able to go as a local and also as an artist myself. I'm a graphic designer and I create all kinds of different art myself, so it was lovely to speak to some other artists who have their own stories to tell, and people give their stories and tell us about their art. I will also be posting the long extended versions of the interviews on my YouTube channel here on Just Designed. I create other YouTube videos, but this is the first video that I'm posting on the Just Designed channel, which is my new YouTube channel, and I'm so happy to be able to kick this off with Art on the Square. I met you today. Hi, it was very lovely to meet you, and for you to meet Lily, and we talked about disability, we talked about art, we talked about everything. We talked about everything in this video. To say, oh my god, that's so cool, and wow, a lot. And I just want to say before the video, if you heard me say that over and over again and it becomes annoying, I am sorry. The art is so amazing, and I really would be able to say that it is so cool. Like, everyone's art is just amazing, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So I hope you enjoy the video and kind of the vlog style / interview style video that I created for this year. And hopefully we can go back next year and do the same thing. So without further ado, here you go. We are in the antique mall right now. I'm gonna show you some stuff that I find. So we're actually on the third day of Art on the Square. It's a 3-day event held here in Belleville, Belleville, Illinois. And artists from all over come over here to Art on the Square. And I'll actually see if we can get some, leave it alone, Lily. See if we can get some people to talk about their art for you guys. But yeah, I just love looking at trinkets. It's so cool. Just wanted to show you guys some of this stuff. I'm sorry if I'm shaky. It's just I took a lot of medicine before coming here, so. So I guess the first person to talk about themselves should be me, since I am here also promoting myself. So I'm a small graphic designer here in Belleville, and I create art for literally anything. I went to school for 4 years for graphic design, and
started 22 years ago in Belleville. Art on the Square was originated by Patty Gregory, who is our current mayor, and we have been ranked in the top 10 I think 7 or 8 different times for the country, so it's very competitive. It's a beautiful art show. We have quite a diverse group of artists and mixed media. So yeah, it's just very we have people artists from throughout the country. We've even had some from out of the country come in.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yes.
That people come from like all over the world to see this.
They do. And my particular position with Art on the Square is I am the high school liaison for the sculpture in the city.
Yep.
And so what we do with that is we get a sculptor that comes into each of the high schools. We've had, we have 3 different high schools in the city of Belleville, and they actually come and work with the students. And then after working with the students, they present that at our preview party on Friday night. So if you go down to the end in front, you'll see the beautiful sculpture that the Althoff students put together with Darren Miller, who's a kinetic sculptor.
It's a 3-day event, right? So we have...
It is, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. So it starts on Friday. We kick it off on Friday evening, and then all day Saturday, Sunday. But it is a really well attended event, and the artists always say it's very competitive to get into. We have thousands of artists who fill out applications and cannot get in and are on a wait list. So it's very competitive, and the artists are just so wonderful to work with. They're just delightful folks.
Different mediums. So it looks like this is a quilt, and this is charcoal, and then we have a painting down here. Very cool. We even got pottery. Looks like this won a ribbon. Very cool. Ceramics. Got some juice, that's pretty cool. See more paper mache. Sculpture. Very cool. These people, everyone is so talented. So talented. We got another award here. That is really cool. Looks like they got the Award of Merit. Very cool. Very cool. All right, it's very nice to meet you, Sharon.
Hi.
And so you make jewelry,
I do.
and so you wanted to show us some of your
Yes.
rings here?
Yes, yes. I've designed these so that I can get the different colors used, and put a $2 onyx in when I'm wearing black, and then they're just like that. And then this bracelet I designed so the stones that catch. So ready to go. So a $10 onyx.
Wow, that's so cool.
So it's fun, and I love making them over and over.
Yeah.
So,
And she's got some really cool rings here. And you told me that you make all of these from scratch, right?
I do. I get big sheets of silver this big, and I feel like I'm finding them and getting them out of there.
Wow. She's got some really cool gems here, guys. And this is Sharon Johnson.
Okay.
Well, it was very lovely to meet you, and I love seeing your work. It's very nice.
Nice to be the
And we have SharonJohnsonJewelry.com. All right, yeah, it
I'm
starts.
Sean Cornell. I'm here at Art in the Square, and my art is plein air landscapes, which means that everything is done outdoors. I'm not in a studio.
Wow.
I'm not working from photographs.
That's
I'm
really
actually
cool.
standing on location.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And people say, well, tell me about your studio. And I said, well, I'm in the largest studio in the world, the outdoors.
That is
And
true.
Sometimes the roof leaks. Sometimes the AC doesn't work. But it's all the challenge of going out,
Yeah.
finding a scene that inspires
That
me
is
and
so
trying to
cool.
capture it on canvas.
Yeah.
My palette is red, yellow, blue, and white. So it's a very minimal palette, and it forces me to mix everything. So my greens are mixed with the blues and the yellows, and there's a harmony that happens within that.
What type of paint is this, by the
It's
way?
oil.
Oil painting, okay.
Oil is so forgiving because if it's raining, as long as I can get a base of oil down,
Yeah,
oil and water doesn't mix. Therefore, I can continue painting.
that's so
Now,
cool.
if the canvas gets wet before I can get the oil down, I'm done.
Oh, man.
Or if it's heavy, heavy snow, even if I have an umbrella, the snow will come in, it will land on the palette, and it will start thickening up to almost where you have a slushy. And so even if you take a palette knife and try to apply it, it falls off.
Wow.
So those are only 2 occasions that really prevent me from working. Other than that, I can take on anything that Mother Nature sends me. There is a group that meets every Sunday, and it's called the Missouri Plein Air Painters Association. There's no meeting, there's no due, there's no membership. It's just see where we're going to be and show up. And that's MissouriPleinAir.com.
Side to paint this stuff is just amazing. Like the detail is incredible.
And the detail is something that it solidifies the further away you get it. But if you go up close to it, you see all the brushwork. On the back of these paintings, you'll find the stories.
Wow, that's so cool. So you document
So
everything.
I document it. Some
That
are
is so
documented
cool.
more than others, but every painting will have its location, its time of day, the weather condition, and anything that I found interesting.
That is why I tell people that we have to pay for people's work, because we really do go and think about every single detail as artists, and people really put their heart and soul into their art.
Well, art is about communications.
It is.
And if you're not communicating what you're enjoying and what you're inspiring, then you're kind of failing at your mission.
Everything tells a story. That's what I love about art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like this one here. If you get up close to it, you'll see all these little specks in there. If you run your finger across, you can almost feel. And that's because I was next to a road that had a lot of gravel, and these trucks would come by and spray all that stuff in there.
Wow.
So you pick off what you can, but then you leave other elements because it's energizing to the piece.
It tells more story. That's amazing.
Yeah, sure. My name is Amy. Sorry,
Yeah.
Off Creations, and I do work mixed media. It's mostly made out of paper, but there's also clay and found items, sticks, cardboard, a little bit of everything. It's very fun, inspirational words, and I use a lot of encyclopedias and sheet music.
That's really cool. Yeah.
It's very whimsy dreamy.
Yeah, I love, like, your style is very cool. Like, everything is so put together and, like, thought out. They all go together, which is really cool. Like, if you had a spot in your house, you could put them all together and they would look so cool together.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Love it. And how did you get accepted into the art fair today?
You submit an application and there's a jury process.
Yeah.
If you score high enough, then you get to be in the show. Yes, I'm from Eureka, Missouri.
That's so cool. Well, it's lovely to meet you.
I'm Reinhard Herzog. I live in Belleville. That is here, St. Louis in the west.
Okay.
And I'm a glassblower since 60 years.
Wow, 60 years. So you've been doing this pretty much your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started as a laboratory glassblower. And then after the Navy, I started to do creative work. Like, that was
Yeah.
every year I became a little bit more, a little bit better and a little bit more creative in the way that I had more, that I was getting more ideas. Different colored glass
That's so
tubes, glass tube pieces, and melt exactly together.
Wow.
One by one, I frame each color. I frame it thin with black glass, and when I then switch the axis and make the that design. You
Wow,
see?
yeah.
And you see here the lines where I framed each color thin with black glass. But that
Different
is
designs.
3
yeah.
hours, and that is 14 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. No, and then that I call it my masterpiece so easy because it's not as difficult to make.
Okay.
But I had the ideas and I like to play a little bit with glass, and so I make these vases, and they work. There comes the water in, then
Wow.
it is heavy on the bottom, and it doesn't tip over when the bouquet is in there. And in
Wow.
and because I want to play in the top, I have a little bird.
Little bird, that's so
Or
cute.
I make a little dog.
Oh,
Or I make a little slug.
oh, that is so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. So intricate.
And Each one is different.
And then they
never
make-
do the same.
You put the flowers in there and it creates
Yeah.
the whole piece. That's so.
And last but not least, I show you my masterpiece ornament. That is my Big Bang. The sun is not here. It
Wow.
goes. And that is
And they don't break.
I've
Hi there, I'm Carrie Joe, and this is my artwork. I use alcohol inks as my medium. It's a very high pigment, intense ink, and use isopropyl alcohol to manipulate it. Either I blow it with a straw, or I move the canvas, or I do all kinds of neat
That's
things.
so cool.
Yes, it's just really fun to work with, and it's very, very unpredictable.
Yeah, and you get all of this like nice, almost
Exactly.
tie-dye effect.
It's very bright.
Yes.
It's very bright, intense colors, and that's from the high pigment of the ink.
Yeah.
And I started this actually with the inks about 6 years ago. So when my kids went off to college and out to work, I was at home by myself and said, I didn't think it's something to do. So I started this. And
That is so
everything
cool.
just started building on top of each other, and I ended up starting to go to art shows. So this is my 3rd or 4th year at art shows.
Wow.
And, but I've always been an artist throughout my life. But I just went down different career paths. Had a couple businesses, and so this is what I'm doing now. So
That
it's
is
a lot of
so
fun.
cool. And you're from Iowa, right?
From Grimes, Iowa, yes,
Yeah.
which is on the northwest side of Des Moines.
Awesome. How did you hear about the art fair here in Belleville?
You know what? I belong to a program called ZAP, so it's
Okay.
the application. And plus, I've heard other artists talk about how fabulous this show is. And
Yeah.
boy, they did not brag it up enough because it's just awesome.
It is.
Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful thing.
I love how everyone from the Midwest just kind of like comes over here to Belleville, and I've lived here my whole entire life, and it just to have someone appreciate our town is so cool.
Yes,
you know?
and everybody's so friendly and so helpful, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Alright guys, so this is Scott Magiajek's art. So he does art and photography, but his main thing is these photo sculptures that he creates. So he uses different materials to create this pop-up effect, and he's really cool because he does multiple different styles in his work. So he creates everything with an X-Acto knife, very meticulously, and puts them together to create this almost 3D effect, which is really cool. You can see it here in some of the images that he allowed me to take. But he is well versed in different forms of photography and art. And although this may look like it is like AI generated, this is all from his mind, which is so cool. I love seeing artists use their own imagination just to create these wonderful pieces. So yeah, so that is some of the stuff that he creates, and he wanted to share it with you guys, but he just wasn't feeling the greatest due to his disability as well. So I am so honored to be able to showcase this with you guys, and that is Scott's work. All right, so I'm in the high school art show here, and these are all made by high school students, which is so cool. Like, the people here are so talented. I'm getting so much inspiration as an artist here, and learning everyone's stories and kind of how they create art is so cool. And I just wanted to show you guys some of the work here made by very, very talented artists that are young and making art, expressing themselves. Like, it's so cool. So I'll show you the rest of them. The pug. This got Award of Excellence. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Got a horse charcoal drawing here. They got Committee Choice Award, and I really love that. It's barrel racing. Huge horse lover. Love that. We also have people who serve their food here. Lots of food tents, different types of food, different types of styles, and there's so much culture here. It's so cool to see everyone's booth. And there is no way for me to film everything I see here today. It is just so vast. The amount of work that goes into this is incredible. So, me and Lily are just hanging out. I did some art. Did some drawing here. Very, very nice outside in the shade, but it's really hot out in the sun. And so we have to take breaks every once in a while due to my disability, and also due to her being a small dog. It's kind of difficult sometimes because she's black. She picks up on that sun so easy. So summer times are difficult for Lily, but it's also difficult for me because the heat really plays with my pots. So, but it's so fun out here, and I can't even begin to get to everyone. And not only that, certain people don't want to be filmed, which I respect. I always ask beforehand. All of the artists who participated in today's video all gave me permission to film them. Obviously, they're very passionate about their work and the things that they do. And everyone has their own story to tell, and it has just been an amazing experience here at the art fair. Very lovely out here. I'm doing some sketching of my own. So we have some drawings here that I've had in this notebook. Oh yeah, just random people and random. Got some doggy pieces. Doggy artwork. Oh my goodness. It's a very cool building. Some of this stuff. Try not to get people in the frame for privacy reasons, but yeah, this place is really cool. Just little knickknacks and old letters. That's really cool. Look at this bike, fireplace. There's a lot of breakable stuff in here. Ooh, there I am. A lot of fashion in here, it looks like, and some like crochet, and some blankets, and t-shirts, and all kinds of cool stuff. If you like fashion and stuff. It's got everything in here is vintage, which is really cool. Old stuff. Everything, what I like about this place is everything is so thought out and put together. Like, people work on this for so long and think about what they're going to sell and what they think is good art, and it's just so cool to see everybody in their art styles and the way that they create, which is, it's almost like a museum, which I just love. But you can actually, you know, purchase stuff, and maybe I'll come home with a few trinkets.
My name's
today,
Rob Bridges. How I got into art, I've been doing art since I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
And when I was a boy, my school didn't have the money for proper school books, so what they did was that they photocopied all our primers.
Okay.
And my dad thought a great idea would be to take drawings, and do his own drawings of cartoon characters, and draw them onto the inside of the book flaps. And I was more interested in the book flap drawings than I was actually into the actual book stuff. So he kept drawing pictures for me, and I kept asking for more and more. Finally, he got tired of it, decided that he was going to have me do it. So from then on, I've been drawing over anything and everything I could. So I went to art school finally.
Yeah.
And I wanted to become a fine art painter. And the dean of my art department, who was interviewing me, decided maybe you should try for the illustration department. And I said, no, I want to be a real artist.
Yeah.
And all these years later, I find myself really interested in illustration, doing the exact same thing I said I would never do. And so in that time, I've been doing art fairs, and I have been creating a wood called the 1,000-weed marsh. And I describe the 1,000-weed marsh best as if you think of the 100-acre wood.
Yeah.
And you imagine getting a giant vacuum. And with that vacuum, you suction out the sunshine that you call it. And what's left over is the 1,000-weed marsh. Some days are good, other days are very shifty. So that is kind of the parameters I have for this world, which is kind of based in turn of the century children's illustration.
Yeah, I love how everything is so cohesive together. Like they look like they go together. You know?
And lately, this past winter, I started working on a lot of drawing because I fell back in love with the actual act of drawing actually on an illustration board, and then kind of painting them afterwards to give them that look like they've been sitting in someone's house for 100 years or so. So experimenting, doing things like delving into fantasy and myth with elves and trolls and things like that.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Wow. And Rob Bridges illustration, guys. Is there any way people can find you?
Yeah, sure. They can find me on my website, www.robbridgesillustration, or Rob Bridges Illustration on Instagram.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Got to film the signature fountain. That's kind of what Belleville's known for. We also have our huge American flag hanging over our courthouse. And we have all of the sculptures out here today. Of course, I could not get to everyone, and I'm so sorry about that if I missed you, which is a lot of people out here. But wow, it was an amazing experience. Definitely will make another video next year. But me and Lily are tuckered out. It is hot today. We're trying to stay out of the sun. I put some water on her vest. She is making a move for it because we are about to go home. But it's been a great day here today in Belleville, seeing everything that we can. We're gonna come in here though because I need some AC, and I'm sure my dog does too. Very awesome. Yes. All right, we're back home, and I got a vase from the glass blower, and I got a original Rob Bridges illustration that he was working on while I was there interviewing him. He was actually in the process of making this amazing little cute drawing, and he signed it, the mysterious bundle staff. And he told me the reason it's called a bundle staff is because he was on his little travels with his little bundle staff. That's so cute, and he signed it for me. And I really loved speaking with Rob Bridges. He was a very cool artist there, and he's from Kentucky, so you guys should go check him out. This is his card. Ooh. And he makes some really cool art. So this is an unfinished piece of work. I bought it from him. It's a one-of-a-kind before he even finished it. And I know that he probably wanted to continue to work on this little cute guy, but I just had to snatch him from him because it's just so cute. So yeah. Alright, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the only footage I was able to capture. That was the last day of the Art on the Square, and that was the only day I was able to film anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want any more videos, let me know. And I will post the long extended versions of the interviews with the artists also on my channel, so go make sure to check that out. And I will leave a link in the description for all of my things. So if you want to see my website, you can click down below, and you can also contact me here. And also all of my social media contacts will also be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.